I don't want to watch Chigiri anymore. I want to watch more Geen. Geen was the best. Why did it start on that screen? Monster Hunter, you have a mind of your own. You're supposed to be on that screen, but you're on that screen. Doesn't make any sense. Crazy. Options. Screen number 2. There we go. Oh god, that hurt. Oh, that hurt too. Oh. Okay, gotta get the Nightflower Blossom. That's what we gotta do first. Login bonus. Give me that. Okay. Any phantom inputs now? Nope. Cool. I need to go get all this stuff. I don't know why. Limited bounties. Cool. They've been updated.
Can't forget supplies.
Come on, get the last one. There we go. Grab that. Grab that. Got it. He scored a goal. That's pretty good. Oh, I did not mean to grab the wedge beetles. Ooh, grab the bug, the god bug right out of the sky. Gotta move this over there and put that there. Okay. And then I need... They made, okay, so for some context, everybody, I am currently watching Blue Lock, and to be honest, I'm a little confused between season 1 and season 2. And I'll go on record saying this, that this is my opinion, but I feel, hey Gamer Boy, but I feel the two main characters that are constantly, like, in rivalry, like the two thinkers. That's what they are. They're the two thinkers. And they've got a rivalry basically, but they look exactly the same. And I mean, that's kind of the point, but I cannot tell them apart watching the show, and it is bugging me a little bit.
Right. I should mark our destination.
Look at that. Look at how well these wire bugs work. Look at these. Yep, they're so good at placing these wedge beetles
Check your map when you're ready.
you can see exactly what's about to happen. Oh god, yeah, this one you can never get to the top, which is really annoying. Ancient Wyvern coin, which is sick. I've seen this animation so many times. Lookout Hill. More rocks. Monster Hunter, where collecting rocks pays off. This game is like a dream to any kid who likes to dig up bones or collect rocks. This game is amazing. That's literally all you do half the time. Woo! Gliding. Got it. Oh yeah. I think that's really something they've worked on really hard, and I think they've gotten it to a good spot where you feel like you exist in a living ecology where these monsters are just living and doing natural monster things, whether that's for this reason or that reason, or instinct, or because they're hungry, and they fight with each other, and we just exist as a part of the equation that sits outside of their natural life, and so, which is kind of cool, because it's the back and forth between the idea that this is humans fighting against the idea, imagine if there was an apex predator that was meant to kill humans, and imagine humans fought back, and now imagine that apex predator just kept developing and developing and developing, because humans kept fighting back, and every now and then the predator would win, and every now and then the humans would win, and civilization just kept getting put back and put back and put back. Yeah, it's really cool. It gets really deep when you start thinking about it. They tell their story with the world. There doesn't need to be a story mode, because the world is the story mode, which is genius. Give me that ephemeral blossom. Nice. Okay. Two settlements are having monster trouble. Okay. I'm gonna save it as an investigation because it gives me a Rathalos ruby, which is awesome. I mean, yeah, so that takes into account what's known as effort for energy.
Now commencing quest.
And it's
by
something
order of the
all animals do instinctively. If a meal is worth more energy than it's going to get for the meal, it's not going to care. And we have firmly established our place as very little food for a lot of work. So basic monsters do kind of just leave us alone. However, apex monsters are monsters that are just kind of mad at you. Hey, how's it going? Sorry, we're talking Monster Hunter lore over here. Yeah, because Monster Hunter lore is like, I was saying how the story, like Monster Hunter doesn't need a story mode. Whatever story mode it had this time was more story than it's ever had. Because the world of Monster Hunter is the story. Like, it's the perfect definition of show, don't tell. Just play the game. There could be 0 cinematics in this entire game, and it would feel exactly the same, because you're living in the world, and the world is the story. Like, the fact that you are just a gang of humans fighting against what is natural order, survival of the fittest, literally hunting back the things that would be considered our predators and eat humans. Yeah, and they play at that ecology establishment really well. And like I was kind of saying, animals have always operated under a very basic instinction of energy versus input. So an animal will never go out of its way to eat something that will take more energy than the meal that they're trying to consume will give them. Because what's the point? If a lion's going to have to run 3 miles to get its antelope, well, it probably isn't going to get enough from that meal to make up that energy, you know? That's why it sits, and it waits, and it gets the thing when it doesn't have to spend a lot of energy, you know? Like, that's how animals operate. That's how they... So we have, as humans in this world, firmly established ourselves as something that is not a lot of food for a lot of effort. So monsters will generally leave us alone, unless they're villages that don't fight back. That's different. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can... I forgot to join the squad lobby, so I'll join the squad lobby in a second.
I heard from the others.
Did you get your nightflower pollen for the day? No. You don't know how to set that up to be able to harvest night pollen every time you start your game? I mean, is 3 days a while? I mean, it said literally you were on 3 days ago. That's what I said. Oh wow, this Rathian's asleep. That's hilarious. Miss Flower Powers. What a dummy. He just shot a fireball into a wall because he was trying to auto-target me. What a dumb computer. Whoa! Okay, that Rathian just teleported. Everybody saw that. That's not fair. He can't do that. And now he's running away? Why would he just Tokyo drift on me and then just run away? Okay, I don't know. I don't know that much of the song. Oh god, there's literally 3 monsters in this area. 2 Rathians and a fire chicken. Okay, so I've been thinking about it, and in my opinion, you know how, I don't know, were you ever a fan of big robots fighting each other? Okay, so you know how in what is it called? Pacific Rim. You know how they have the code names for the kaiju? I think we need to officially come up with a code name for every monster in Monster Hunter. No, no one's ever done that. That's literally something that no one's ever done. Wow. Pressing the wrong button. Wow. Turning into... Nope, I got him. I'm gonna dunk on this guy, and it's gonna be awesome. Oh, he stopped. Oh, come on, dude. Calm down. Not cool.
We got this.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, no, that's what's great. I love that name. Knifehead. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I'm like, okay, so we gotta make names that are complementary to something like Knifehead. I love that nickname. Like, imagine just calling one of these guys Knifehead. Which is exactly what we do. Like, that's the same energy as Fire Chicken. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the same energy as Fire Chicken. Or I've got Rathalos's. Rathalos's name is, yep, that's... Yeah, if you're talking about many different kinds of Rathalos, that's how you would plural that. Just as you would say fishies if you were talking about many different kinds of fishes. Yes, you would actually say fishes or fishies. No, I'm telling you, that's the real plural. If you're talking about many different kinds of things, that's what you would say. You would say fishies or fishes. And it would be the collect plural. Your language arts teacher would probably say, no, it's not, and then you can call Neil deGrasse Tyson and oh, cool, he fireballed me. That was fun. That's cool. Okay, yep, he got me there. Fair and square. Yep, that was fair. He got me. I deserve that. Cause I know Rathian's kaiju nickname. It's right? Yeah, Rathian's kaiju nickname. It's gotta be Basic Dragon. Or not a dragon. One of those two. Basic Dragon or not a dragon. No, that's dumb. That's see, that's not a nickname. That's just describing what it is. Get him. Dunk on him. I gotta switch horns to play you buttholes affinity up. Oh, it's too bad I didn't have the earplugs on. You guys wouldn't have been affected by that. What? Those were not the songs I played. Purple, orange, orange, green, purple. I gotta say the notes out loud, otherwise. Oh, I should have 360'd there. I would have gotten him. Oh, don't tell me he's running away. He's the dumbest monster in the game. I can't believe... I mean, they kind of have to include Rathian because he's the OG monster. He was the original flagship. Well, he was like Monster Hunter 1's flagship monster. Ooh, those were good wombo combos. Got it. I got last hit. I got last hit. I got last hit. I got last hit. That's all that matters.
This thing's a trove of new data.
We did it.
Well done, Hunter. Now let's continue our investigation.
Quick, everybody just teleport away and I'll be here by myself now. Oh look, there's an Arkveld. Let's dunk on it. Cause he's dumb. And I'll get free I'll get up what is it, gathering materials for like the next week.
Commencing quest now. Are you prepared?
SOS flare. Pop that baby up. Let's get some damage in here, please. 3 greatswords would be peak. 3 greatswords would be peak. They would be having so much fun with me. Give me that toadstool. Haha, Rathian, I'm not coming after you this time, Rathian. I'm coming after the Arkvald. I need to redo my radio menu. Okay, too close. I'm too close. I am too close to the Arkveld. Time to get away from the Arkveld. He is still coming after me. That is crazy. Is he gonna come after me now? That would be hilarious if he did. I would give this game credit because that would be next level. Time to get in there. Come on. Why can't I sneak attack him? There we go. I wasn't far enough in his bite. That's what it was. No, yeah, it's crazy. I had to be like way up inside there. That was crazy. I was like in front of him trying to respect his decency, but he was like, nah, you gotta be deep inside there. That's not okay. Dude, violence is never necessary. Now hold still so I can bonk you in the face. See, I knew I was like 1 or 2 hits from knocking him out of it. No, always bonks are very bad. Oh, he did the big swiper move. Thank God I am hunting alone, because that pile of crows is saving my butt. Okay, that did not work the way I wanted it to. Cool, dude, left your face open. Oh, he dodged it! Oh my God, this is intense. Woo! Okay, how did he even get me there? There we go. I hit him with the good stuff. Yep, there it goes. I tried to time a double slam to like hit him out of the air, but it didn't work. I was way too early and then he got me. No, I wasn't just trying to kill it. I was trying to, like, dunk on it. I'm guessing people were joining right as I was trying to dunk on it, because all of a sudden it just turned it up to 11, so I think it turned into a 4th-layer quest. Hey Ray, how's it going? Oh, good dodge, Sacred. Good dodge. Woo. Okay, he got me fair and square there. Do I have my healing mantle? Oh my God, I do. That's cool. He can't see me. It's fun. And now I can wait for everyone.
We got this. Shot set.
Okay, cool. He just wound up to get me. That's fun. monster duel. That's what I mean. Come on. There we go. I got all of them. Let's do it.
Thanks! That helped!
What are you playing again? Oh. Oh yeah, wasn't that the last month's thing?
Thanks! That helped!
Of course, he would come after me.
That helped! Thanks! That helped!
Keep tagging me with all of your plugs. Who cares?
Thanks! That helped! Thanks! That helped!
Wow, they all sound the same. That's hilarious. They all picked the highest toned voice they could because that's what everybody's doing. KO, eat it. Some sharpness of it. Ooh, I dodged it that time. Ooh. Immediately turns around and gets whacked.
Thanks! That helped!
Isn't that karma right there? The first time I managed to dodge his big swoop and I just turn around because I'm all happy and he just gets me. Oh, he got me. He's doing the big swoop again?
Don't worry about it! No worries!
That's crazy. He's not allowed to do it twice in a row. That's so dumb.
Thanks! That helped!
I need to figure out how to handle the big swoop. How does one handle the big swoop? Oh boy. How did I deal emotional damage to the monster? I love that though.
Thanks! That helped! Thanks!
to play Monster Hunter than Yu-Gi-Oh! What do you mean? You don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation? You can mod that to run Steam. How did I deal emotional damage to the monster? Can you explain that to me?
An egg. Want to take it into study? If that's the case.
Quick, I'm gonna get this to the thing in 30 seconds. Oh wait, I forgot. I'm on an expedition, so I literally can just walk this back to camp if I want to. Hey, let's not use those big, hard, bad words. Oh my god, you can put it down anywhere. No, Yu-Gi-Oh's in a bad spot right now. Like, if, like, the only way I'll play Yu-Gi-Oh now is on Master Duel. Like, it's because it's the better format one. I mean, it sucks that it's best of one. I wish we could have sideboards, but it's not a perfect world. Current Yu-Gi-Oh! In America sucks. But Duel Links is the format we want in American Yu-Gi-Oh! But they won't let us have it. Okay, this Rathian is following me through like 6 different areas right now. Nice dodge, handler. So watch, I'm gonna flash pot him, and then I'm gonna dung pot him, and he's gonna leave me alone. No, Master Duel. Master Duel is the format we want, not Speed, not Live Duel, whatever that is. I hate that. No, Master Duel is the format we want. Duel Links is only like three spots, right? Like, that's all you get is like 3 zones. That's the dumbest thing ever. That's the dumbest thing ever. That's not even Yu-Gi-Oh! That's not even Yu-Gi-Oh! Where's the pendulum zones? I don't... If you're running pendulums. Yeah, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Yeah, I don't, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't work well. But Master Duel, I constantly get their names confused because it's so dumb. But Master Duel, yes, Master Duel is the format that we all wish American Yu-Gi-Oh! was just that format. It's so dumb. I had a little bit of a reason because I could at least still play my deck in the format. and then they went and banned the one card I wanted to play. And it wasn't even a problem card. It wasn't even on the board. And they were just so scared of it being a thing that they banned it. And it was like the time when you could still play like 3 of God, who's the 7-drop guys? What's that? Akira something? Kashtira. That's what it, yeah. It was when you could play everything in Kashtira. Remember that? Remember how busted that was? You could have 3 unicorns, 3 of the other one, 3 of the giant, 3 of the amazing one in your extra zone. Remember when you could have all that? Like, it got banned at the same time that was legal. The deck that just said you don't get any zones, and now it's your turn. And that deck got banned at the same time my deck got banned. And the reason my deck got banned was because it was a turn 1 Exodia. And I get it. That's also a scary thing. But, I mean, come on. When you're comparing apples to oranges here, does it really seem like the worst thing on the planet? No, in Master Duel, yeah. Master Duels is running my deck that I've been running since then. That's what I'm saying. You can only play the deck now in Master Duel. It runs a Soul Day, it runs the Fire Knight combo, it runs the only hand interaction. Like, there's so many games I win where I just go, Aqua Dolphin, rip your Ash Blossom, I win. Because there's no other card that lets you go after people's hands. And every hand trap that would stop the deck, besides, what's the trap one? What's the dumb trap one? Something end. You know, something end? I don't know what it is. What is it? Yeah, you know the one that you can play from your hand, and if you play it from the field, then you also deactivate that zone for the... Thank you. Yes. Infinite Impermanence is the only thing that stops my deck, and I run 3 of this dragon. And you can run 3 of the one thing that says you played the one field spell that basically says screw off with your Infinite Impermanence. It does nothing. So I play 6 of those just in case I go Aqua Dolphin. Oh, you have Infinite Impermanence. I'm kind of stuck now because the Exodia combo is a 2-card combo which starts off of 1-card igniters, which is great. Like, it's disgusting. So you can have 1 card, 1 hand trap, and 3, like, cards that go after either your opponent's resources or protect your own things. Like, it just leaves you so much room for variance. It's crazy. And not to mention, it plays, what is it? 27 single card starter combos? Yeah, no, they banned a Soul Day. They banned a Soul Day because they were scared of this deck being a thing. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's just like, the deck didn't even get its time to shine and be the busted deck for a minute and like, oh look, everybody's running Exodia. This is the worst thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, how funny would that have been? Like, people complaining that now everybody's playing Exodia. And it's like, what are you talking about? This is peak Yu-Gi-Oh! It's so dumb. Yeah, it's... I am now in the squad lobby, but it is so dumb. It is so hypocritical. And then you've got the skeeviness of Konami. Like, I'll tell you what, the structure to their business is perfect. I love them. They did what I told Magic to do from the beginning, which is who cares what players want with collectibles? Screw collectibles! The game needs to be played at the end of the day. And if no one can afford to play the game, then it's not going to be played. And that's what's happening with Magic the Gathering. No one can afford to play it anymore. Yeah. No, that's not even, no. So there was a regular version that you could get, but the regular version skyrocketed to $250. So imagine having to pay $1,000 just to play 4 of a card in Modern that you need to play to beat everybody else. Wait, I can compare this for you. So right now, Magic the Gathering is in a permanent state of, oh my god, I need to drop this card's name so it blows your guys' mind. It's an old Yu-Gi-Oh reference. I'm forgetting his name. It's the one card to beat La Jin. Mechanical Enforcer. Do you remember this card? So, do you remember base Yu-Gi-Oh? Where you had La Jin, which was 1,800 attack points. That was base level. Everybody played him, and then 2 of the 17s underneath, just for variance reasons. But everybody played the full 3 Jin. You play the full 3 Jin, because Jin beats everything. Unless they play a stupid defense elf, and then you kind of laugh in their face. Because then you play Summon Skull, and then they're done. But his name was Mechanical Chaser. 1850! 1850! You could only get this card in a tournament pack, which was distributed to maybe a handful of stores. If you were lucky, they gave your store tournament packs. Oh my god, like, this card cost $500 per card when it came out, because if you just dropped one and your opponent wasn't a resource ahead of you, you just won on the spot. Because they could play a Legend, but it doesn't do anything! Mechanical Chaser was gross. Tournaments were decided because 5 people brought Mechanical Chaser and no one else did. It was insane. It was so dumb. It was just like you couldn't do anything. You just had to sit there and take it. No, so that's a Yu-Gi-Oh thing. Legend was Yu-Gi-Oh. And that's what I'm saying. Magic is in a permanent state of Mechanical Chaser right now. Where every card that comes out next is like 50 points better. So you have to use it. And you have to buy it to keep competing. Otherwise, other people are going to buy it. And then you're just going to lose to those people. It's so dumb. It's like if you want people playing your game, that's not how you do it.
Yes.
Well, no, there is skill behind that, because once you put all the elements together, if you now compete with the elements being equal, the skill part is more likely to be apparent in the decision making. There is still luck involved, yes, but at that point, I would say a player's skill, because you can bring the best thing in the world, but you're going to lose to somebody who's better than you with the best thing in the world. Like, as long as everybody knows that it's the best thing in the world, the advantage is gone. Glass cannon effect avoided. Because that can only happen once, and then it's out there. And every pro who actually goes to win will be trying to upset what they've already established. And the very next tournament had a lot of people trying to go for artifact removal when that ring thing came out. It didn't work very well because the ring just outpaced them, but they tried. Oh hey, they got rid of one of the event quests and I never did it. That's sad. That's No, but like, it's the dumbest thing ever. It's, oh my god. But I love Konami. I'm gonna go back to Konami for a minute because we're talking about Konami. So, Konami's thing is they've done it correctly. I give them kudos for developing their game correctly. It's not about price to them because they've printed Pot of Greed into the ground. They've printed Graceful Charity into the ground. You can go back and you can be a dumbass collector and pay $600 for the original Pot of Greed, Collector's Edition, mint 10 if you want. Do it. Do it. You're not playing with it in a game. You're buying a 10-cent copy from the store next door and you're going to play the tournament. Like, that's how it should work. Like, imagine if people could walk into a store right now and buy Power 9 Magic cards for like $1. How many people would play Magic? Everybody would play Magic. Literally, everyone would play Magic, and they would just sell infinite things forever. But they don't do that, because right now, because ever since the beginning of time, collectors have been like, ooh, you can't print these things, because they're called the reserve list, and if you print them again, it'll make our investments go down, and we'll sue you. And yes, my cardboard needs to be worth actual money. How dare you, wizards, make me believe that what you printed as a game could not be worth money. Ooh, I'm an adult and I play this child game. How dare my investment go to waste? Well, no, yeah, I completely agree with that. Cause, well, if you want a card game to succeed, it can't be derived off of collectors. Because the collectors give value because of the game's results. And at the end of the day, that's what will always hold firm. A card is worth more because it does better in tournaments, hence it is the better card. Right now, you can buy a fucking Eevee. That's the worst card in the world in Pokemon. It could be worth shit. It knows tackle, does 10 damage. You'd never use it in a million years in a competitive tournament. But that Eevee's worth $20,000 because people like Eevee. It's so dumb. The Pokemon is the market that's gonna crash the hardest from this. It is so up there in the sky that the day that somebody goes, you know what, I don't need this, it's gonna be a rude awakening. One day, someone's just gonna be like, I don't need this, and then the next person's gonna be like, you know what, I don't need this. And then it's just gonna spiral from there, and it's gonna be no good. Oh, yeah. Not only that, but all the shoe collectors. Oh, what do you think happened when the shoe market just collapsed? Which explained exactly what I'm explaining to you right now! Which is, if there's no basis for the value, once the interest is gone, it doesn't work anymore! No, Master Duel is great. Anybody can pick up Master Duel and play a lot of decks right away. Like, they give you enough dust to make any deck you... I literally made tier elements with just base stuff. Oh, Hearthstone used to be good until they stopped making the Hearthstone part. Well, no, it's not anymore. What are you talking about? Now it's like this derivative of like a million different games based on top of the original game. And no one plays the original game anymore. And it's really dumb. I don't like that. Like, I loved Hearthstone for what it was, but then Arena came out and it was like, cool, Arena. Awesome, it's a draft format. That's even more of a reason to play Hearthstone because we get another way to get cards that aren't just like opening packs. I can instead play this game and I also get cards on top of it. How cool is that? I don't know. Arena was great. Draft was an amazing format in Magic the Gathering. Draft is where, yeah, it's the same thing as Arena, where you would sit at a table with 8 people, and you would have 3 packs each, and then you each would open a pack, take a card from it, and pass the pack to your left until you would have a pile of cards in front of you. Yeah, and then you would make a deck with the pile of cards you chose. So the strategy isn't in what can I get, the strategy is what's there. What isn't he gonna be able to get from this pack if I take it? Like, yeah, how do I make what I work while taking away from everybody else? Because if you see the best card, even if you're not gonna play it, you don't want somebody else to have the best card. Like, it's crazy. There's so much different strategy when it comes to draft, and that's what I love. Arena wasn't exactly that. It gave you more of the core concept, which is building a strong deck, which includes all the basic concepts to be able to function early, mid, and late game accurately, which is the acronym BREAD, Bombs, Removal, Evasion, DERP. DERP. Nope, DERP. It's actually draw, but I call it DERP. So that's the order. So when looking at a pack, that's the accurate order to assess cards of value. Brett, do you already have a bomb? Is there a bomb in this pack? You need to take the bomb. You need at least 2 bombs. If you don't have a big thing to put in front of their big thing, you're probably going to lose when they play their big thing. No, I love game concepts. I love game concepts. I've won games off of pure language choice or decision making. Like for one time, I was playing a Magic game, and I mean, I hate to do this. I hate to be this person, but I took advantage of the other person's willingness to not observe the game happening in front of them. And what ended up happening, it may seem like I schemed him, but I want you to know I didn't really scheme him. I played the facts to my advantage, and he didn't realize what was going on. He let his emotions get in the way of a factual understanding of what was happening. And he went to play something really reluctantly. He was making a decision between 2 cards, and as he moved his hand, before he said anything, I tapped 2 lands, which doesn't mean anything to you guys, but to any Magic player out there, if a blue player taps 2 lands, you immediately think counterspell. Which means my thing will not work. It'll just be stopped as I try to do it, and it'll go into the graveyard. That's what it means. It was countered as you tried to do it. He halts, looks at the board state, goes, I am ahead. There's no reason for me to commit. I'm just going to pass the turn. I then untapped without a counterspell in hand and board wiped into Elspeth, which then let me put 3 creatures on the board, then obtaining tempo for the rest of the game to beat him. All because he decided not to do something. Well, it's not my fault. It's all I had. He knows the card exists. I know the card exists. The only chance I had was him making him think that I didn't have it. Well, it's his hesitation that gave me the cue to do it. Like... No, it's not. It's called a bluff. It's Poker 101. How dare he not look at the board state and go, oh, who cares if she has a counterspell? I can just fight through it. Like, he just didn't want to lose his thing. His card meant more to him than the fact of going, I'll play this, you'll counter it, and I'll play this. He'd rather save it, thinking it had him the win. Which was the wrong call. Wrong call.
We've been given more supplies. Check your safety.
It's like what if someone said, it's like what if in the middle of you playing your Yu-Gi-Oh card, you didn't even say what it was yet, but someone immediately pulled a card from their hand and went, oh wait. What would you think is in their hand? A hand trap of some sort. It's just logical. So the same thing applies in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you can do the same thing. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of casual because they know the format sucks right now. So everybody's just more like, I want to get this over with. I don't have any hand traps. Yes, you can win right now if you just show me 2 cards. I mean, that's the thing. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not about having fun. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is about how good you can read, how good you can understand semicolon placement, and how well you can predict the Japanese to English translation scheme. Because cards need to translate accurately, because we know for a fact, cards come out in Japan years like before, sometimes in certain situations. So the people who can prepare for those formats are the people who can accurately understand what the card's going to do in the translation change. Think about that. Oh, we know this amazing card's going to come out, so I'm going to be ready to build a deck with 3 of it, and no one else knows because they think it's worded this way, even though I read Japanese and I know it's going to be worded this way because that's their intent. Everything about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is fucking bonkers right now.
I heard from the others.
Well, no. Well, that's the thing. We have people who understand different languages who play the game for us. So there's tons of access to that information all across the board. The thing is Konami, the thing is that would normally work, but Konami has now established a pattern of behavior. And when there's a pattern, now there's something to abuse. So normally, if that were to happen, it wouldn't really matter. Konami's like, randomly we're going to choose these cards and we're going to put them into the set, and no one knows which cards we're ever going to pick to bring over to America. Okay, cool. That'd be nice. But no, what they do is they take every card that successfully warps the meta in the Japanese market, bumps its rarity to ultra rare, prismatic rare over in the American set, and then releases it as the gemstone cards. That's what happens. So you can get the same card over in Japan that would be a common or an uncommon or God forbid a rare for like $5, and you have to pay $70 over here for those triple tactics thrusts. Remember that card? Oh yeah, you can buy that card for $3 in Japan because it's a common. Imagine everybody having access to that card instead of having, what is it, 70 plus 70, that's 140, 70 more, that's 22, $210 to play a game correctly.
Yes.
No, it's all of, they don't care if the game's ass because of it. They don't care. They don't care. Because, whatever, Ash, whatever, it doesn't matter. They don't care. They don't care. As long as the game is playable and they are making money, It is a business at the end of the day, and that is their prerogative. That's what people need to forget. Like, that's what people choose to forget for some reason, is that that's the prerogative, to make money. So, by establishing this pattern, they will increase the maximum amount of money to make in the American market, because now we have to buy infinitesimally more boxes to pull all the ultra rares we want. Because we need them. Like, that's why this whole fire snake thing, Snake Eyes, that dumbass card, that's why that was a problem. Like, like, literally, this spell card used to be like $50 each because it was like an ultra rare, and it was one card into Azusa. Azusa's banned in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. Like, the bow girl. That's not okay. She's like the best card. You know the one I'm talking about, the Link 4 with the bow. She's like the go-to, the GOAT. Like, I still play her in Master Duel because she's amazing. She goes in the Exodia deck. I mean, I have been doing that, but I've also been taking breaks. Like, I can go hunt this Lullabarina. Like, I don't know. I've been waiting for Rex to get in here, but Rex hasn't joined a single one of my quests. I gotta get into the habit of playing self-improvement with the first one. So then I can just get into attack. Well, okay, so you want me to introduce you to the basics of Monster Hunter strategy? Okay, so... Hold on, let me dunk on this Lullabarina for a second. Ooh, I dodged it with a... Oh, he got this. Never mind. I thought I dodged it, but it didn't. Butt move again. I hate how he just turns and does it quick. The Lagambe is not from Rise. The Lagambe is from 3 Ultimate. I'm sorry. Like, every monster is known for the first game they were in. I'm sorry. If you didn't play that game, that's on you. Lagambi was the cutest monster in Monster Hunter 3 and Monster Hunter Ultimate that there ever was. Yeah, so if you get behind him, he's got a little backup move quick where he tries to sit on you. So Monster Hunter strategy is entirely visual in its concept. The first basis is you have to understand is they try to be realistic with the application of the weapon's purposes. Hence why they've given us blades versus blunt. Well, so all monsters contain what we call weak points. These weak points have influence over what type of damage would apply. So weak points are how you get through a monster's armor quicker and start dealing maximum damage as fast as possible. Now, if I were to say, let's take a spider, for instance, right? Do you think a blade or a hammer would be more adequate at damaging a spider? Exactly. It's gonna be a little bit harder, but within that, so generally blunt is going to be better against that monster. However, weak points are how you get around it. So if you're fighting something that your weapon doesn't work against, then you want to go for weak points, which are specific areas of the monster that is susceptible to both kinds of damage, as well as an extreme damage buff, because you are hitting specifically what's called a weak point. In this game, monsters have generic weak points, and then they all have now what's called the wound system. So the wound system is how we generate weak points anywhere we want. Because it used to be, if you're a hammer, the weak point's always going to be the head. If you're a sword user, the weak point's always going to be the tail, and so on and so forth. But now in this one, they've kind of changed it. They've made some monsters weaker in the head to blades, some monsters weaker to tails in the blades. It just depends on the monster, first off. And now, with the wound system, if you're attacking a non-weak point and you inflict a wound, that non-weak point is now a weak point. And even if you break the wound, you know how you can, where it gets glowy red or glowy purple, and you break the wound, and it topples the monster, does whatever. Even if you do that, the area will remain wounded and still a weak point from that point on in the fight. It won't just heal. So you can still keep targeting that spot to do damage. So that's the key to Monster Hunter, is you pick a spot and then you keep going. The more hits you can get on that one spot, the better. Because first off, if that spot is already initially a weak point from the get-go, half the job's done. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. There we go. So what weapon do you use? And what Monster Hunter is this? Okay, then you're gonna always go for the tail. If there's no tail, go for the webbings on the wings. Something you can slice through. You know what I mean? These are weak points. Now, you don't have the wound system in Rise, but we have the wound system in Wilds, which is great. The wound system's great because it means you can start just dunking on the monster wherever, and position is a little less important. Which is nice. It's nice not having 4 hammers randomly end up on the same quest and then you're all piling into each other to hit him in the face. It's nice. Gives you a little room to breathe. No, yeah, so the hammer is infamous for this issue to occur because the hammer has multiple what's known as stagger moves, which are moves that can actually interact with your friends or your party group. They've got the launcher, which is a golf swing of a sort that kind of launches your friend into the air to then allowing them to do a jumping attack. There's also the ground pound, which if you hit near a friend can send them flying, which you can use to save somebody's life and get them out of the way of an attack. These are common concepts that Capcom has geniusly tried to put into the hammer development to try and make it more big brain, if it were. But small brain, swing hammer. So there's an issue with that, and it just ends up divulging into 4 people constantly nudging each other so none of them can get a combo off. And sending each other flying and wasting everybody's time. Well, I mean, that's why I love the meme from the, I don't know if any of you guys saw my Monster Hunter meme in the chat, but, that's why I really like the meme from Starship Troopers, because it's like, I'm doing my part. It's every weapon lined up going, I'm doing my part. And they're all contributing, and then a 2-foot child comes out and steps out from behind the entire line of military soldiers and goes, I'm doing my part. And they all laugh at him, and it's just the hammer user, and you're like, yeah, that's how it's always been. That's how it's always been. You just sit there and think you're doing your part. Thank you for at least trying. No, they try. Like, you can't take it away from them. They'll sit there and try. At least, and even now in Wild, it's taken on more of a child role because now we can all put in shockproof jewels, which makes us not stagger from their attacks anymore. So now we can just watch them be children and be like, aw, that's cute. More like a saxophone. It's cooler to kill a monster while playing smooth jazz, baby. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Bum, 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 bam, 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 bam. I hate Borderlands. I despise Borderlands. Borderland is entirely the definition of very little effort for very little output, and you people have fallen for it. Oh look, let's make everything infinitely drop and random, and make it impossible for people to get these cool, fun things unless they spend an enormous amount of time grinding for them. Like...
Understood.
Where That means it would be right there. Oh, snap. I'm trying to figure out where the ephemeral blossoms bloom in. Okay, so Great Lakes Shore and west. Also, I'm sorry, best monster in the game has to include Wudwuds from now on. If it doesn't have Wudwuds in it, I don't give a shit. If it does not have, you have no idea what you are missing out on. Wudwuds are the best. You thought Palicos were cool? What about Doggos? You thought Rise had Doggos were pretty cool? We got Wudwuds over here. Wudwud. They are handsome cuties that like Tribooty. WDW. It's exactly how you think it's spelled. Wudwud. I literally told you, and I know you're joshing me. So I'm not gonna entertain that with a response because I know you're joshing me. Too late. I'm getting off now. It's an hour and a half, which is all I had. So you took too long. Now your candy's gone. Pachow! That's what happened. Kinda cute. They are the best. Like, you haven't even heard them speak. They speak perfect English. No. They all speak perfect English. They all speak perfect English. No, it's the English language we always wanted. Let's be honest. I actually have a theory. I think the Wudwuds are speaking what our language will devolve into in 1,000 years. Well, think about it. No, think about it. Our entire culture right now is developing off of the I don't want to be my mom sort of scenario, right? I don't want to be my dad. I don't want to be my mom. So kids, as they're growing up, obviously rebels. And so what's the first thing a rebel do? What is the first thing a rebel does unconsciously? Yeah, exactly. Disguise their motives and actions. And how do you do that? Through the use of slang. But here's the thing. Everybody up until that point had already been using slang. So what do? You take the slang that is already slang for another word, essentially a photocopy of a photocopy, until it devolves into what we have now, which is, remember when skirt was a thing? Remember the word skirt? Remember when that was a thing? Like, I'm telling you, it just devolves into nonsense because they're making up words for words that are already made up. And I know, all words are made up. But still, like... No, I like when people say, hey, don't make up words. I'm like, all words are made up, dumbass. I love that response. Wudwuds are great. I don't know what you're talking about. You haven't even seen the wizard Wudwud. There's a Wudwud that's a wizard, and he's the smoothest talker.
I heard from the others.
Yep, he's accepted fate for what it is, and he understands that the wheel of time moves forward with or without his existence. No, are you kidding me? He's a nomad. A nomad is literally the definition of tribal. He is also tribal. He just has a better vocabulary, just like any other person would have in any social situation or scenario. No, it's normal social constructs. Normal society is developing between these Wudwuds. Don't you dare take that away from them. No, your points are irrelevant. Listen to me. No, the Woodwoods are developing as any normal society would, where some are smarter than others, and those are usually considered outcasts in the society of developing. Because he's made fun of by the other Woodwoods, because smart people are always persecuted in early tribal definitions. Where do you think the term shaman came from? Where do you think the term shaman came from? Yes, because everyone's so stupid! He's literally... See, you don't understand. Like, okay, so how linguistics works is just because the minority chooses to speak and develop in a certain way doesn't mean the majority will follow suit. And the majority decides what the baseline of an advanced civilization is. It's not, what can we give our smartest person? It's how smart are our 5th graders? Let me ask you something. No, I can disarm. How come? Hey, if your prized Woodwood is so much smarter than their tribal brethren, why the fuck do I have to shoot him down in that cave every time I'm back there? Like it happens every goddamn week because he's collecting the honey. No, he's a smart guy, but at his base point, he's a Woodwood. He's a Woodwood. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. No, you can't count the Palicos toward that because it's fucking Chewbacca rules. It's Chewbacca rules. You can't claim that for Chewbacca rules. They speak an entirely different language and we sit there pretending like we understand every word they say. Like, it's literally meows and we're going, yes, very smart, Palico. Very smart. Oh, I'm sorry. Get good. Oh, you couldn't understand your Palico before? I'm sorry. Get good, Hunter. It's because you weak-ass hunters needed English. You don't play in Japanese where you get the epicness of the Nihongo desu ka? No, you literally just described Chewbacca. You literally just described someone standing in a room, speaking a different language, and everybody around them understands what he says. My model looks like I'm having a stroke because I can't take this. Exactly. That's the other main reason, is the Woodwoods are way cuter. They're way cuter than the Palicos. Cuteness is a survival trait. Nope. Cuteness is a survival trait. Where I'm discussing the complexities of Monster Hunter linguistics having to do with the Woodwood civilization development. He's trying to sit here over here and say, if you have a group of Woodwoods... No, stop talking for a second. No, stop talking for a second. Because here's the point you're making. You're sitting there saying, if we have a group of Woodwoods that speak a certain way, and we have this one single Woodwood over here that speaks a little bit more with pronunciation and full words concept, and yet And yet he... No, I'm telling you, you can't put an entire civilization in the same category as a single one. You have to put him in the category of the civilization. He stands as an average. No, he is not any smarter than the other Woodwoods. He is a little smarter. He's a little bit smarter in Woodwood terms. He's a little bit smarter in Woodwood terms, but it doesn't matter. He's traveled the plains and he still hasn't figured out how to make a goddamn weapon. We've been to human villages that don't understand what weapons are. Are you going to call them stupider? What are you talking about? We don't know. We don't know what we're sitting on. We have no clue what the Wyverian civilization is. Explain to me what we understand as a Monster Hunter community about the Wyverian civilization. Explain it to me. Because as of right now, the Wyverians are... There's still Wyverians around. No, this is what happens when you insult my boys. Like, the Woodwoods are the GOAT. Like, the Woodwoods are great. I'm sorry. Like, no, the Woodwood means... No, you can literally pick any Woodwood out of the crowd. No, No, stop talking. No, because the Sacreds are way better. The Sacreds are way better. You don't know what you're talking about. Are you saying you want to take them... Are you saying that you want to take the gliding out of the game? Because that's not okay. Are you telling Capcom to go backwards right now? No, we're not. No, we're not. Nope. See, that's the thing. Monster Hunter's concept is not that. In this game, it's our weapons. It's our weapons that allow us to achieve these superhuman feats. Yep. Our inventions of science. Our inventions of science are the things that allow us to look superhuman to others. Literally, we walk into villages and it's established that we walk into villages and they go, wait, what's that? We've never seen that before.
Hello.
So, okay. So here's the thing. If we're looking at strictly wilds as a unilateral thing, no, we're not. What gives you the impression that we're superhuman? Nope, that's not a reason. That's not a reason. You can't say that because literally it is human definition to overcome that which seems impossible. That is the definition of being human. No, Capcom never said that. Show me the post.
Hello.
Show me the article. Show me where Capcom has officially announced in any way, shape, or form. Oh, you mean that company that's out of business now because they were writing lies about the gaming industry? Go look up the article and show me. They're all online. Go look them up and show me. No, the burden of proof is not on me. You're the one making a point Whereas I'm backing up all my points with proof. Give me one quote. Give me one quote. I'm not saying they're not 300 years old. Here's the thing. What about it? Okay? The Wyverians? You don't even know the name of these people and you're somehow lecturing me on how you know them more? Oh my god, no, you got that completely fucking bonkers. Okay, you want me to explain to you the actual history of Monster Hunter? Because it started with the Wyverians and Wyveria, the first civilization that was able to conquer what we call our predators. We did this through the establishment of inventions in science. These inventions were what we called weapons. These weapons that the Wyverians developed were used to hunt monsters to such a degree that monsters started becoming scared of us. To the point at which we could hunt elder dragons with consistency and without fear. We killed so many elder dragons, in fact, as a Wyverian. I'm speaking as if I'm a Wyverian because I am a dragon. But, because Wyverians are part dragon. So we became so good at killing elder dragons that the literal boss elder dragon decided that us as a civilization can no longer exist. No.
Hello.
Did I not just... I'm sorry, can I run that back? Did I not just say that? We hadn't made the weapon yet. We hadn't made the weapon yet, but we had still killed. We killed so many elder dragons before we had to make the weapon. Because we built the weapon out of pieces of elder dragons. Literally, the last contraption was because the elder dragons stepped up and they said, we cannot have humans anymore. That's when we made the weapon. That's when the war happened and the Wyverians were scattered to the distant lands because the whole civilization went down in fire. Now, we can still see little pieces of Wyverians around the civilization and... You're not even listening. You're changing the point rather than actually acknowledging what we're talking about. Why are you changing the point? We're not talking about the towers. This has nothing to do with the towers. We're talking about the very point at which Wyveria was destroyed, which was the invention of the weapon. Then it clashed with the actual elder dragons who were banding together to end the civilization entirely. The war destroyed all of Wyveria and scattered our ruins to the wind, and our people are in shambles with 1 per every 1,000 people, 999 are dead. So we have tiny villages now, establishments, because we're now back down on the food chain. The monsters have the ability to run wild. Now, thousands of years later, not 500, thousands of years later, humans come along. We develop from cavemen, discerning ourselves. Oh my god. How? So are you saying a Homo sapien cannot eventually lead into a humanoid? We're talking about evolution here. And you're saying because I said that thousands of years in the future, you keep ending what I'm trying to say without actually listening to what I'm saying. Because what I'm telling you is that thousands of years in the future, cavemen exist and Wyverians exist. And eventually they get together. Because we're not to the point at which... Let me finish my entire statement. You're being so, I don't get it. I don't get it. So far, have I said anything wrong, other person in this conversation, that has made sense? We weren't. We literally weren't. Nope. It wasn't ours, though. It wasn't ours. It wasn't in any of the human history books. It has nothing to do with human history. Wyveria was before the existence of humans. Wyveria was before our time. Literally the reason we were walking through these ruins and our handler was saying, oh my gosh, these must be Wyverian ruins. This is such a cool civilization from before we existed. It's crazy. Like, wow, it's like all that dialogue of hers is useless then.
Bar.
I never said any of that last part, nor did I finish my statement. Because what you're getting at is nothing to do with the point I was making, which was there's a timeline. And you interrupted me about a fourth through the timeline. Whereas you're talking about the end of the timeline and saying, look, the fourth way through the timeline is not the same as the end of the timeline. Therefore, you're wrong. That doesn't make any sense. Because there's a timeline. We existed as cavemen in this civilization at a certain point. How do you think civilizations come together? So was there just a baby human inside of Wyveria? Was there just a baby human that just showed up in Wyveria one day? And that's how humans came to be? Is that your definition? Because we started as cavemen. We don't know what the Wyverians were before they were Wyverians, because they came before us. But thousands of years after Wyveria died, cavemen were there. Cavemen started developing on their own and becoming human beings through evolution. Wyverians saw this through the change in time, eventually intermingling our civilizations. You did nothing but twist everything I said. You haven't even let me come out with the finish of my statement, and you're still sitting there saying, oh, look at her twist what she's saying, when everything I'm saying is factually correct, and I'm putting it in order for you. Give me the article! Give me the quote! You're wrong unless you can give me some sort of proof, because I'm giving you goddamn proof by laying out a timeline for you, which is more than you're doing for me. I am. No, I'm laying out the goddamn timeline. Dude, I'm literally laying out a timeline for you of how it all leads together. All the points you're making lead together in a single line. So I'm literally saying some of it you're right on. But why are you jumping to the end and saying I'm wrong when I'm not through it? Because you can't have a human. How do you get a human without Neo-Sapien? How? No, you have to explain that to me. You have to explain that to me. Because that's the lore. According to Capcom, humans develop normally through natural evolution. That's how we got to this endpoint. It's natural evolution, and we have an apex predator that exists on the same planet as us. That is the definition of Monster Hunter's world. So with that in mind, how did humans become human without first needing to be that little tadpole that washed up on shore through evolution? No, don't change the subject. Answer my question. Answer my question. How did humans get here without needing to be the tadpole first?
Bar.
Oh, so you're conscribing to the god aphomism in Monster Hunter rather than the natural evolution of... Okay, fine. You can believe in magic if you want to. Congratulations, you are a Christian in the world of Monster Hunter. End of story. I will no longer be able to convince you that anything is different. But I can tell you that as through natural evolution and what we've observed through science, that within the Monster Hunter world, at my timeline, We were cavemen. Wyverians were scattered to the wind. Those societies, shut up. I gave you your time to speak, and we've decided that you believe in Christianity, and I will never be able to convince you that you don't believe in Christianity. So I'm done with that. I'm still going to make my point because there's somebody else in this room who believes that what I'm saying, and it's a very intellectual thing, and it actually has a lot of information. So please stop interrupting, because we have the humans who were then cavemen, slowly moving through the evolution line, and Wyverians having huge life existences, having seen this and witnessed this. We then started to intermingle, and new humans started being born, ones with a much longer lifespan in the general sight of things, right? Which allowed us to start expanding and building villages and start growing communities. And these generations kept having more kids and more kids and more kids, until all of a sudden we were in these situations where our villages were big enough to where we would attract the attention of monsters again. But what would happen? We heard tales of these Wyverians of ancient time that possessed these mystical weapons and contraptions to fight back against the monsters. And who knows if it took 1 village or 100 villages being destroyed by monsters. Maybe it took 1,000. Who knows? But eventually one day, some human stood up and said, enough. I can dream with the information we have of past times. And with it came the very first creation of the weapons that humanity has used to defend itself against monsters to this day. You can see this development through time in the Monster Hunter games itself, as they add weapons through it, and itself looking like humanity is developing and learning how to deal with these lower level monsters more consistently, with these bigger monsters popping up and still becoming a problem. Elder dragons. We didn't see those in the Monster Hunter game for a while, because it took us a while to get up to the point of development again where the elder dragons would take notice. What are you talking about? Monster Hunter 1, the literal flagship monster was the Rathian. You couldn't fight the Fatalis in Monster Hunter 1. Oh, so you mean because the additional monster rank didn't come until Monster Hunter 1.5, which was the secondary release after 1, which is where they introduced the higher rank. Whereas the original one, the highest you could do is high rank, and it was a Rathian. No, it doesn't. That's 2 different games. Oh my god. So you count Monster Hunter Tri and Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate as a same game? That's crazy, because they're 2 different games, and they came out in 2 different versions for 2 different consoles. You could buy it for the 3DS, or you could buy it for the Wii U at the time. So it's insane that you could buy that you could buy this game for that and that game for that and not call it 2 different games, because they were literally 2 different games. So how would you have done a DLC back then? Because that was their best effort. And you can call it, it's a different game though, because the intent became ending. If they updated the first game, that's different. But they had to make a whole different game, which means they would change subtle things between games if they found them to be a problem, allowing them a certain intermission to update things if they didn't like how they felt the first time around. But you're talking about DLC, where now the concept is we're going to make a game, sell it for $60, and then we're going to have 2 DLC packs, which is going to finish the game in its entirety. We're talking about the original Monster Hunter and how when it was made as a game, they didn't have the second one in the works. They didn't even know that G rank was a thing. But then it became such a big hit that they said, shit, what do? We need a new game and we need it fast. So you take the first bit of it that you already have made and you add on another part so you can crank a game out in the next 6 months. That's how that economics of the situation works. It had nothing to do. Do you think those there isn't an Elder Dragon in the first one. There is not. No, they're not. No, 1.5 is not the first one because I'll point it out. You think when those executives were sitting in the middle of the room deciding whether or not to make a Monster Hunter, do you think they were asking themselves, guys, we need to make a new Monster Hunter? Or do you think they were asking themselves, hey, everybody, you know what all our fans want? The exact same Monster Hunter. Fine, cool, they can mention it in lore. It was not playable in the first iteration of Monster Hunter. I literally have Chad on my side. Chad is literally saying you're talking in circles about nothing. Because you're not making any points. You're saying things that are kind of irrelevant. Because the first Monster Hunter game, if you played that game when it came out, were there any other Monster Hunter games? No? So it was its own Monster Hunter game. And you can say there was... You're saying lore. You just said lore. I've been going by game. Oh my god, you're going in circles. He's right. Chad is completely right. You're going in circles. You were just arguing for game. Now you're arguing for... Cool. I explained that at the beginning of the timeline. You're literally repeating what I explained at the beginning of the timeline if you would have listened at all. That's fine. But we know for a fact that the purpose of humanity is to understand the world in its systems through science, which is literally the whole purpose of Monster Hunter. So again, if you want to stand in the corner and claim magic, I want to believe in Monster Hunter Jesus, you can do that, but I don't really want to listen to that because I don't care. Like all these Ojibways and all these tribal peoples and all these whatever you want to call them, all these natives can come up with all the lore they want, but Handler and me are there to cut through and say, we don't care about your lore. There is a science behind what is going on. There is a sickness behind the frenzy. There is a way to systematically cure it because we believe in science as a Monster Hunter definition. That's fine. That's fine. You can do that. You can do that. But you're comparing the same mindset, whereas I'm having the mindset of the hunter, and you have a mindset of a person from Kanafa Village. You have the mindset of someone from Kanafa Village. I have the mindset of a hunter. I understand that now. That's where we're at. Okay, that's cool. Nope, that's where we're at. There's not a single hunter alive that would ever stake the world's creation on 5 dragons. Humans are literally defined as hunters! This is literally a game about the scenario where what if the hunter became the hunted? And it is human nature to fight back against whatever force is oppressing us. So we would hunt them back! And the Wyverians, yeah, so? That doesn't matter. Are you gonna get mad for defending ourselves against these beasts that will decide on a whim whether or not to eat you? The only way not to get eaten in a predatory situation, and I explained this earlier, is the cost-benefit analysis of energy versus effort. If it takes more effort to eat something than energy that food will provide, any animal's natural instinct will take over and say, that's not worth it. It's just a fact. I don't know what to tell you. They literally explain everything in Monster Hunter Wilds through the perspective of science. If you're listening to anything the hunter or the handler have to say, or anything the guild you work for has to say, everything we bring to the table has to do with science development. Everything we're coming upon, which is the pre-aged villages who don't have the capability to survive, are the one. No, that's not true. Because if that were true, Kanafa Village would be off the face of the earth. I'm sorry, but it's a fact. If we went along with it, Kanafa Village would not be here. We saved Kanafa Village dozens of times. So you're saying the natural... See, and that's bullshit. You can sit there and say that, but if you were one of a handful of humans left, you wouldn't have that luxury. You do in a world right now where humans are overpopulated to shit, and you can look on it and look down your nose at that perspective and say, oh, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. But you put your ass in a cage with a tiger, and that shit tries to eat you, you're not thinking that I'm just gonna let it happen. I guarantee you. That's what I'm saying. So why not? What if the tiger needs to eat though? What if you're the planned meal? That's natural selection. So now you're agreeing with Monster Hunter. The Monster Hunter is trying to tame nature, not just let it exist on its own and run rampant. Jesus Christ, you're going in circles. Why does the game literally end with us putting down the big bad then? Because it's the only thing we have left to do. Because we can't just coexist. It's not possible. Oh, so you mean the natural process of which predators move onto territories, take over, and then change the landscape from the ecosystem because the food chain is now disrupted? No, I'm saying that's the exact... I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is what that describes... Oh my god. What I'm saying is that describes the exact process that actual predators go through when they invade a territory. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying... Oh my god. Oh my god. You need to listen. You need to listen. Because I didn't say it was a natural predator. If you take any natural predator, lion, cheetah, hippo, if you take any natural predator and it goes into another person's territory and it chooses... Because Monster Hunter in itself is based upon real life aspects. Because, yes, okay, so gravity doesn't work? So okay, if that's what you think, then why do these monsters push us around at all? Why do these monsters shove us? Why are there physics? I mean, come on. Why does wind work? So we need to establish some sort of rules to make this game work properly, right? And we're talking about nature and how an ecosystem, and in a game where we literally call a type of monster an apex predator, where it will go into other monsters' territories. Oh my god. So, oh my god. And see, you just changed the subject again. So this is the circles. Like, I can't do that. Like, this is crazy. No, you did just change the subject. No, this is all under the grasp of we're in a world where we're not the apex predator. Where no matter how many monsters we knock off, there's always going to be another one. That's cool. We haven't killed any of the elder dragons that killed the Wyverians. Which iterations? Which ones? Can you name the 5 dragons that ended the Wyverians? That banded together to fight the weapon? What are they? Nope. 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 No, it's not. Nope, it's not. Nope. No, it's not. No, it's not. Yes, I do. I know that we don't know them as a society. And anything that you're finding online is just somebody's theory that you're choosing to spout off without actually doing any research. So did the parrot come from which dinosaur did the parrot evolve from? Because we know that birds had some dinosaur lineage, and if you can tell now where they come from, then you should easily. I'm not saying, I just said dinosaurs. Parrots are a variation of a development from a dinosaur prehistoric species. No, I guess we'll disagree then. No, we'll disagree there because some things in Monster Hunters are put up for belief, but when it comes to the concepts and the core of how they're specifically operating as a guild and scientifically trying to figure everything out, what you're saying goes against the very core of what Monster Hunters established, which is don't believe in made up mystical bullshit. Investigate and figure out the facts about why things are happening the way they are. Oh, so you mean I'm using past experiences to decide my future interactions with this world that has very realistic interaction points that I can reference? So you don't need to eat in this video game? Really? Really? So I argue that you cannot do hunts for the rest of your Monster Hunter career without eating. I argue. I'm not dictating. My question is, could you play Monster Hunter for the rest of your... You could. And successfully do it all. That's funny. I don't think you could. I think if you fought a Gormagala right now with normal health and realize how much damage bar that does, which is if you don't have a buffed bar, it will do 100% every time on almost every attack. You don't understand what you're saying. You don't understand the concept of how this game works either. Okay, and you're... Okay, that's fine. You can do that. Gunpowder ignites, shoots bullet. That's how bowguns work in Monster Hunter, right? That's a real life thing. Oh, can I not reference that? Oh, so we can take some realistic things and apply them to this. Cool, guns working. What do you see now? You're changing the subject. This is the circle. I'm done. You're bringing up Baldur's Gate 3 when we're talking about real concepts in Monster Hunter. I just proved to you a real concept that can be applied to this game. No, you just said that real life situations cannot be compared to Monster Hunter because it is a video game. And I just proved you wrong, as a matter of fact, because gunpowder ignites, shoots bullet, which is how bowguns work. So you cannot sit there and defend this and then switch over to Baldur's Gate when the point was, and you have been proven wrong, that real life experiences can be applied to Monster Hunter. You just see, no, I'm sorry. Can our third here tune in? Can our third here chime in and just tell me what he just contradicted himself, right? He just contradicted himself. He just admitted that gunpowder is exactly a real life thing and it interacts with guns and ammo in the same way. And but you just said you can't take that concept. You can't take that concept away. That's how it works in the game. That's literally how they say you have to make bowgun ammo. Is put... So you think if Okay, hold on. No, that was a very idiotic thing for you to say. Just because magic exists, now everything that applies to the real world no longer exists. in certain situations, that's fucking stupid. That's a dumb thing. That's a very dumb thing. Just because you choose no, that's a very dumb thing. That's a very dumb thing. I'm sorry. You made a very idiotic statement. If you care at all about salvaging this, then you will take a step back and realize that was the dumbest thing you can say. Because you can't have anything without establishing some sort of realistic consistency. Yes, like, I can't believe that you're even still arguing this, because it's literally, you have to establish realism in order for people even to connect. Then you can do that. That's not Monster Hunter. That has nothing to do with science and has nothing to do with Monster Hunter. Again, this is the circle. This is the circle you're going in. We're applying science. We were talking about science. Now you're talking about ninjas and some shit. And I told you what the lore was. And the lore is the Wyverians were completely a society devoted to science and technology development.